core of what we've done has not changed. So ever since the beginning, like I never have sent mailers. Like I think the first batch of mailers I sent was like earlier this year, and that didn't really work. So from day one, all I did was call land companies and try to buy directly from them because I honestly didn't really know or fully understand the whole mailers process and how you take, from mail to actually getting a closed deal. So when we first started, I bought, 3 or 4 from Matt to, start. And then I went back and I actually did a land arb deal. And that was a package. It started with 20. And then I went back to them, bought another 50. We did that like 5 times. And then we were up to 300 over the span of 6 months. And then this year, we're acquisition wise, we're north of 1,000 parcels in 2022.
Awesome. You might have just said it and I missed it, but this was all just bought from other land flippers, or you're buying these directly from the private owners?
Exclusively from land companies. So.
Okay. Huh.
Literally, I would just go on LandWatch, see who was selling land under, 20,000 and who seemed like they had a lot of land. And I would just call them and be like, hey, I'm not, my name is Peter and I'm interested in buying land. Do you ever wholesale land to other investors? And some people were kind of like, not really, but I'm open to it. And then some people already were doing that. And some people were just not receptive. But when you call enough people, you find a couple of people, and that's all you really need.
Yeah. So, like, if a property is worth, I don't know, $20,000, in the land flipper, like, how do the numbers work exactly? Because a lot of us are familiar with the way the formula would work if you're just buying directly from the private owner. But given that original buyer wants to make their profit, like, what are you offering them? And does this mean you have to sell at 100% of market value, or does that margin ever get squeezed too thin for you?
It can, but usually how it works is, so let's say a land investor bought a piece of land for $3,000 and they're selling it for $10,000. So basically, sometimes they want to get liquidated, and basically they might sell it to me for $5,000. So basically they don't make the full markup, but they still get it off their books quickly. And often it's not like a one kind of it's not like a one parcel kind of deal. It's more like I have 5 acres in Arizona or New Mexico, and sometimes it makes a lot of sense for them over 10 parcels to make $2,000 on each one at one go, rather than having to list it, wait, and just go through that full sales cycle.
Yeah. So is it typically like is it their junk properties, stuff that's been on the market for 6+ months and they can't move it, and that's why they're selling it to you? Or do you ever get like really good properties this way?
Honestly, sometimes they try to sell the junk properties or whatever, but but most of the times I've honestly have gotten good inventory, because what happens is it becomes such a strong repeat business, right? When you find a good wholesale customer, it's like, all the guys that I work with, I text them every week, and anytime they get something new, I'm buying it from them. So their disposition pipeline, or whatever you call it, is shortened incredibly. And the thing is, if they sell me something bad, or quote unquote bad, it's just like they don't want to risk the business of like losing us as a client. So I don't know if that makes sense, but usually I've never had any issues. I'm sure some deals, like, they don't go as you plan. But for the most part, there's definitely something there, and it's been good.